Yo, what's up? This is Raw&Uncut. Thank you for watching. We're back. Finally, a video. I want to give to you guys another one of my stories of my life, right? Those are still here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. If you've been following me, I was banned for 7 days. They lifted that ban yesterday. Actually, they didn't really lift it till like early this morning or something like that, or late last night, because there was sorry. I apologize for a little bit of delay, but for this story, I had to roll one up real quick. I usually have one done ahead of time, but today I didn't. So I just cracked me a cold one. It's Friday night. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening. I know you've had a long, productive week. Time to chill out. Some of you are going to be enjoying yourself doing nothing. Some of you will be doing events, going to events, something. Be safe in whatever you do. Tonight, what I'm going to talk about, I have three younger brothers. Okay. Uh, Two of them were shot 13 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. 11 years ago. I'm sorry. It was in 2013 and 2014, I believe. No, 2013. I'm sorry. I'm mixed up in dates, but it was 2013. But I know the date exactly. But the other brother, I think, was a few months before that in 2012. But this story that I'm going to talk about is about one of my brothers that was shot 5 times. It's not easy to talk about. And the reason I'm bringing it up, because when you've saved someone's life before, or you had your life saved, you always look at life differently after those moments, after those kind of events. It's just different. Everything looks different. So I'm just going to get into it. One night, it was March 30th, actually, March 31st. It was close to 2 in the morning, Easter morning, 2013. And I'm watching, I just moved back with my mom. My son was 2 years old. And I was coming out of a relationship and went back to stay with my mom so she could help me with my son so I could look for work, right? I was in transition in my life where I stopped drug dealing when my son was born, and there was things going on as I was struggling, going to these classes and stuff like that. And not struggling, but learning and gaining confidence of what it is to be a single dad, right? And I remember I was sitting on the sofa. It's about 2:20, and I'm dozing off. And I was in my mom's apartment. I'm in the living room. My mom had a sofa, and I'm on the sofa in the corner. The TV's like right there. The TV's like right up here, a few feet from me, and I'm kind of leaning on the armrest of the sofa. My son, Junior, he's right there on the sofa with his blanket passed out and his pillow. He's out. It's 2 something in the morning, and I'm dozing off, and one of my brothers is coming in and out because he's outside chilling with the homegirl from next door, where we know her whole family and everything like that, right? So it's one of those things. I'm starting to doze off. I'm watching a rerun of the Lakers. Watching a rerun of the Lakers. I remember watching Kobe Bryant highlights, dozing off. I was falling asleep watching Kobe Bryant on the TV on ESPN. And then all of a sudden I hear pop, 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 pop. Fucking jumped up, wham, because it sounded like it was right in the house. I looked to the back, my mom's back sliding glass door to the patio is cracked this much, and it's raining cats and dogs. I just remember that it was raining cats and dogs. And I'm like, fuck. So I run to the back, open the door. I don't see nobody. Open the sliding glass door. By this time, when I go running out, my other brother's coming out of the room. No, not yet. I ran to the front, opened the front door, and I went out and I looked and I didn't see anything. So I turn around and I run back inside. When I'm running back inside, my other brothers woke up, and my mom and my niece, and they're hauling ass back outside. I'm running to the back into the room to see if my brother's inside anywhere, because I don't know what's going on. So when I go back outside, I run back. I don't see nobody in the house. So I run back outside. When I run back outside, I just see the trash cans by the fence in the yard of the apartments, in front of the apartments, and my mom's on Grant right there, were moved. And my brother and my mom are over there. I go running up there, and it's my brother, and he's laid out. My brother T, who's 4 years younger than me. I'm the oldest. Hey, stop that. Dogs like to mess around over there. But he's 4 years younger than me. I'm 4 years older than him. I'm the oldest. He's my second. He's the fourth youngest child out of six. My brother T. And I just run up there and I see him. My brother's laid out. He's on his back. My other brother's on the side of him. Now neighbors and stuff that we know are coming out of their house and running over there. And my mom's screaming. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the, maybe from the time I heard the gunshots, ran to the back to the patio, then ran outside through the front, and they came running back in, and my brother and everybody went running outside. It's about 20 seconds, maybe to 25 seconds has elapsed in time, actual real time. So I'm standing over my brother looking at him. He's on his back, and he's just like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how many times he's shot. I only know how many times I heard shots. I know how many shots were fired because I was dozing off. I wasn't in a deep sleep yet. So I was able to count those shots, and I knew that there was 5. And my brother had a big leather jacket on. And so now there's dudes from down the street. Everybody's gathering around. When they saw my brother, when I came out and we were calling 911. As I was right there, I was calling 911. It was just ringing. Nobody was picking up. Neighbors calling, they're yelling, "We're calling 911. Nobody's picking up." We knew everybody in the neighborhood. People are coming out of their houses and shit now. And because they hear all the commotion outside. And all the neighbors, everybody. So finally, I'm like, well, fuck it. CRMC's like not even like a quarter mile from there. And so I said, hey, pick them up. I went and got the keys and said, pick them up, put them in the truck. I'm going to drive them to the hospital. Because now it's like 5 minutes has elapsed. And my brother, we now know he's shot and he can't really talk much, but we don't know how many times, and we know he's bleeding and stuff, but you can't really see it because he's got a leather jacket on. So I come running out with the keys, open the truck up, my mom's truck, my mom's Isuzu. It was a 2001 Isuzu Rodeo, a black one, 4-door, right? Little SUV. So I jumped in. It's raining cats and dogs. There's screaming, there's crying. My mom's crying. It's chaos. We're all everything's just kind of moving while this is going on. It's like slow motion because I jump in the front and I just look and they open the door and it's my brother and a dude from down the street turned out to be involved in this shit. A dude from down the street helping my brother put my brother in the back. So now it's like 6 minutes have elapsed. People are still screaming, 911's not picking up. They were not picking up for no one. My mom's calling, my niece, no one's picking. The neighbors are calling. They said they can't pick it up. No one's picking it up. So when my brother gets thrown in the back, my other brother jumps in the front, he jumps jumps in the back with him. My brother's sitting next to him, I believe. Yeah, he's sitting in the back with my brother. And I'm started up, and as I get ready to pull off, I'm facing west on Grant. West on Grant. And toward Fresno Street. And when I turn the lights on to leave. I see a cop hit the block from Angus or Augusta. I always mix them up. It was Augusta. From Augusta coming east towards me and blocks me in and gets out of the car, and it's a female cop, and she points her gun at me. I'm through the driver window from her vantage point outside on the side of the truck, the driver's side. She points it right, and I roll the window down. She says, "Don't move. This is a crime scene. You're not going anywhere." I said, "My brother's been shot, dude. Like for real, like that whole fucking blood in, blood out. Remember, my brother's been shot. Oh, no, for real. I'm not trying to be funny. That's exactly what I told her. So my brother's been shot. He's bleeding in the back. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You're not going anywhere. At that moment, I had to make a decision, and it really didn't. There's no thought that went into it. It was just instinct. I couldn't go forward because she blocked me off, and there was a car parked in the front. So what I did was I put it in reverse. She said, "Don't move, don't move." I backed up instead of going toward her. I just backed up and made a turn. So my ass end went all over the curb by the tree, and I turned around and I headed east down Grant up to Orchard. No, that's Angus, I believe. Up to Angus, and then all the way down to McKenzie, made a right, and then smashed all the way down McKenzie, all the way up to what was the other? Yeah, man, oh my God, it's been so long. It wasn't Effie. I forgot the name of the streets, but anyways, we were close to CRMC. I got up in front, went through the back way, came up the emergency, and went up into the roundabout in front of the emergency, the trauma center. So I just pull up, I hop out, door open, my cell phone on the hood. I come flying out, come around, open the door. My brother's inside carrying my brother that's been shot, and I'm on the outside with the door open, grabbing him I have him by the head. My brother's he's laying there. He's not even moving. There's no life in him. His eyes he's still coherent and, looking at us, just looking at us. From the time he's been shot to the time we got there, it must have been 8 minutes, like tops. And it's raining cats and dogs the whole time. So me and my brother, when we're running up through the doors, the emergency just open up, and the security guard's right there, armed guard, and he's looking, and he doesn't even come out of it. He just waves me in. He opens everything up, and he comes out, and he yells something, and we come running right in the middle of the emergency room where everybody's sitting. And people are like, "Oh, what the fuck, darling?" You hear people tripping and shit because we're carrying my brother, and you can see blood now. They came out with a gurney so fast. We put my brother on there, and I looked at my bro. My brother was laying on the gurney, and he just had his hands up like this, where they were already stiff, and his eyes were just closing. And I was like, wow. And me and my brother Rube, we just watched them take him in, and I thought that was the last time I was going to see my brother alive. We turn around, the cops are rushing us. They can't. As soon as we hand my brother off, we turn around. Fresno PD is rushing me and my brother right there inside the hospital in the emergency room, waiting room area. They threw my brother to the ground, threw me to the ground, handcuffed us. We're like, "Hey, what the fuck? Why you guys were at a party?" No, we weren't at a party, dude. Look how we're dressed. My brother's like, "Look, dude, my brother was in his boxers and a tank top. My brother Ruben is in his boxers and a tank top. No shoes. No shoes on. And I had my shoes on because I was able to hop up. I had sandals on. And no sweater, no nothing. We're trying to tell them, they're like, "What happened? You guys at a party?" I guess in a span of 5 minutes when my brother was shot, from 2:30 to no, in a span of 15 minutes, they said from 2:30 to 2:45, there was like 6 or 7 shootings. In the matter of 10 minutes, there was 5 shootings at that precise moment, and they were getting them calls from everywhere, so they didn't know if we were from that one of the parties where a shooting happened or what. So we came out. I'm like, "Look, dude, or you guys went at a party? You guys weren't involved?" "No, we didn't come from a party. We came from our house." "What?" They didn't even hear the call. They didn't even know what was going on. It happened so fast. So they had me and my brother in handcuffs. Got my brother behind the cop car. They got me outside. And I'm telling the officer, "Look, dude, I don't know." They're asking me what happened. I said, "I don't know. I was inside halfway asleep. When we ran outside though, when I ran outside first, the chick that he was chilling with, let's go back to that. The chick that he was chilling with was screaming, saying who did it. And as they're looking at my brother when they found him, and I come out and I'm asking who the fuck, she's telling it's so so and so. So what the fuck? I'm like, why would he do this shit? That's my brother's homie. What the fuck? Like, you just he's a dirty dude, but you just give him the benefit of the doubt. You're like, what the fuck? Anyways, all this transpires. We end up at the hospital. They finally pull my brother out of the back of the car. They know that we weren't a part of no party. They know that our shooting we're involved in was separate, and it was at in front of my mom's apartments. Um, so all that happens. I gotta take my brother home. He has no clothes on. So I believe I stayed there and my brother drove the truck home. Eventually, my mom couldn't come because she's at home with my niece and my son. And so I had to call. I didn't know what was going on, but when I got back from the hospital real quick, no, wait, my brother got back from the hospital because I stayed there. When my other brother got back from the hospital, he called me and he was letting me know what was going on over there. So I had to call reinforcements. So believe it or not, dude, when you're in some real life threatening situations, not everybody's built for that. And not everybody's supposed to throw their life on the line. Hey, everybody's different. Just because I've thrown my life on the line for somebody don't mean that they're going to do it for me. And we should never expect it, but it's just different when you know that they won't. You know what I'm saying? And I've thrown my life on the line a few times for a few people and never expected anything in return, just respect. That was it. And you know what I mean? I don't need a constant thank you or anything like that, but I've saved people's lives before and my life has been saved. And this with my brother, um, where I'm there, family's now starting to gather 3, 4 hours in. Now they're not give. They're like, hey, you got to give us a few hours, So after about 5 hours, 4.5 hours, they came out, and by this time, a couple of my aunts and stuff and cousins are down, or one of my uncles and some of my cousins are there. Um, they heard what's going on, and they're there, whatever. And it's not a lot of us, but there's family there. I'm just not tripping on that. I'm wanting to know what's up with my brother. I'm like, whatever. I'm just trying to see what's up with my bro. You know what I mean? So finally, they come out after 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and they say that he was shot. At first, they thought he was shot 3 times, but then when they pulled all the clothing off of him, they saw that he was shot 5 times, and that they had opened him up and they had to clean him out because uh, he was shot at point blank range, and they think it was a 32. And so I'm like, what the hell? And they're like, yeah, it's we opened him up already once. So it's pretty critical right now. The next few hours, so we just got to sit and see what's gonna happen. And then another fucking 2.5 hours later, there's more family there. It's 5, 6 in the morning. More family starting to show up. It's early morning. They've heard the news. I'm in touch with my mom. I'm letting her know what's going on. I am now. I'm basically my brother's medical power of attorney because my mom can't be there. She can't make those decisions. She asked me to do it. She told me, "Can you please take care of this meal because I can't do this?" I said, "I understand, mom." She's like, "I don't know what to do, meanwhile, I don't know how to do." I said, "It's okay. I got it." So they came back out about 2.5 hours later, and they said we need to go back in and open him up. He's got leaking in there still, and we need to clean him up some more. But after this, we can't open him up anymore. His body's been through enough. So whatever happens after this is, it's up to him. But we're just gonna try to give him the shot. And I was like, all right, I appreciate that. And then like another a day or two, 3 days later, I've been there, haven't left, only to go home and take a shower. There's been weird things going on. There's people following me around. There's some weird shit that happened at the hospital. One of the second night my brother was there. The second night my brother was there, like I was staying, all through the night watching the floor and in the lobby, and they would let me stay in the lobby. I would stay in the lobby of the floor wherever he was at. If he was on the third floor, fourth floor, whatever, I'd be chilling there all night, walking back and forth. I have my phone, check on him here and there, every few hours, get information, whatever. I never left the hospital. My brother was there for 51 days, or was it 47 to 41 days? 47 days. My brother was in there for 47 days. I think he was in ICU for like a couple of weeks, a few weeks. But they that whole situation, I never looked at it like, I mean, my brother, there was a whole lot that came from that. There was, because people came asking questions after that. As soon as the next morning, I end up leaving about 10, 11 in the morning. It's Easter. The doctors tell me, hey, you know, when they came back after they opened him up the second time, they came back and say, hey, we did everything we could. Now it's up to him, man. If how he responds, his body, how he responds to the trauma that his body's already taken. You know, and he said, if anyone can survive this, because not many people can. If anyone can, it would be your brother. And I was like, I know my brother's a very strong dude. You know what I mean? He's had these situations before in his life, even as a baby. And he's like, oh, and I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm just saying from his body, he's in great shape. My brother had never had an ounce of fat on him. He's like, he's in great shape. If I was a pediatrician, I would tell people that, you want to look like this guy right here. And I was like, yeah, my brother always kept himself in shape, had a six pack, you know what I mean? Lean, can move really quick and everything, was known for throwing his hands and stuff like that. That's what nobody can ever say about my brother, bro. My brother couldn't throw hands because they could. And that's the reason why they had to approach my brother like this and try to, try to do what they did. But all I'm doing is speaking my vantage point of what I went through. So when I was up there I came out 10 or 11 Easter morning, which was still that same day, but now it's in the morning, not in the early morning. Um, I'm out there talking to my mom and everyone, and she's telling me that people are asking and they want to know if my brother's alive or he's dead. I said, you don't say nothing. And then we saw somebody coming down the road, down the street, because we're outside. I've got a couple family members there with pistols and stuff like that. And, everybody's kind of strapped up now. And that was the thing before, is my brother couldn't have no straps in the house because they were on probation. But now after my brother getting shot, with weird things have been happening, we had to. So I had family members there that could have weapons. Roger and Helen, they held us down, man. And I'm forever indebted to them. Roger and Helen Maddox. Roger Maddox, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Roger. And we love you, bro. And I always, always thank you for when you showed up for my family when this happened. Because, like I said, man, it wasn't a lot of family that was able to at the moment. At that moment in time, there wasn't a lot of family that was able to. But during these times, we have been through stuff like this, similar but never as drastic, and that just figured it out and dealt with it. Always did. So when it came to this happening to my bro, we're outside talking, and I told my mom I came, for a little bit, and I'm gonna go back, in a few hours. Doctors told me let him rest, that I could come back later on tonight. So for me to come home and get rest, and we're talking, and homeboy's coming down the road, and we could see him walking from like a block and a half, and I already know who it is. I'm familiar with all these people, and it's the homeboy V. And he rolls up, and my mom's like, I'm like, he's gonna want to know, if T's alive or dead. And she's like, well, what are you gonna tell him? I mean, you don't want to tell him where he's at. And I'm like, well, I don't want nobody to know where he's at. Your brother's weak, man. I treated that like my brother was like my Tupac, but in real life. It had nothing to do with rap, just the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother took 5 shots. So I just took it as, hey, you know what? When it comes down to taking the 5 shots, not many people can do that, say it, right? They can say, a lot of people can talk about it, man, but my brother won't glorify it. He'll tell you straight up that God was just working that night. And anyway, so I said, just follow my lead, mom. I said, just follow my lead. Dude, my mom, my mom always looked to me for guidance as her older son. And I took over a lot. Because it's just who I am and the way that I was built. When my dad left when I was 10, he told me, "You're now the man of the house, son. Don't you forget it. And you take care of your brothers and your sisters and you take care of your mom." So I tried to do that later on in life in my 20s when I was really making good money. I really tried to do that. And, you know, uh, it just, it just comes down to understanding that in the streets, it's chess. It's not checkers, just to be cliche. It's never checkers. And sometimes it's not head up chess. Sometimes you got to have a backup queen for the table. If you know what I mean, something you got to have something in your sleeve. You got to have an ace in the hole at all times. So homeboy walks up and he starts telling, "Hey, what happened, dog? Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Hey man, some motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Came up, shot my brother last night, bro." And he's like, "What? What happened to him? Where's he at?" I said, "He's dead." My mom's just looking at me, but I told her, "Just follow my lead." He's like, "What? Nah, fuck, don't trip, not for real, dog." I said, "Yeah, my brother's dead, bro. They killed him. Shot him 5 times. Who did it?" I said, "I don't know who did it. I don't know who did it, bro, but I know that they shot whoever it is, they shot my brother 5 times." He's like, "What the fuck?" Tear went down his eye. He turned around, he bounced out. So there's a lot. That's just a little bit that came from that. But there's a lot more that came from that. And I'm not going to spit it all tonight. It's too long. I don't want these videos to go too far long. But you know what I'm saying? That's just the time my brother got shot 5 times at point blank range and survived. And my vantage point from that, I never looked at it as me driving my brother to the hospital and the cop coming out trying to stop me and me backing out and never second guessing and getting my brother there. Because if we don't get my brother there, if I don't move that motherfucking Isuzu rodeo and listen to that police officer when she fucking drew her gun and said, "Don't move, this is a crime scene." And I said, "My brother is bleeding. He's been shot in the back. I got to get him in the hospital." She said, "I don't give a shit. Don't move this fucking car." And I backed that motherfucker up and went and didn't hesitate. That's what saved my brother's life. And I didn't even know that or think of it like that until my brother told me the other night, because 11 years is going to be this Easter, actually on the same day that he was shot 11 years ago. And it's March 31st and it's on a Sunday. And it was 11 years ago that he was shot. And so we were talking about that. And he told me that. He said, "Bro, you know, you saved my life." Because when that cop rolled up and told you not to move, I said, I took it as, I said, everything that I have been seeing already, I took it as it. She knew if she stalled me out just a minute, two, 5, 10, and wait for an ambulance. My brother still has to wait for an ambulance because we haven't been able to get nobody on 911. Imagine how long he's going to sit there. He's going to die. That's how many people die. They bleed out. So nah, that wasn't even an option. And I said, he goes, you know, you deciding not to fucking listen to her, bro. I was like, she's gonna have to fucking shoot me, and it's gonna be there's a guy, a dude trying to be saved in the backseat. It's his brother, and then you kill the brother trying to drive him to, you know, it's gonna be pretty fucked up. So I just took that chance. I never thought about it. I just made a U-turn, backed up, made a U-turn, and went around the bitch. And you know, doctor said if I wouldn't have got him there another minute later, my brother would have been dead because he died twice at the hospital. I mean, when he got there, he was already flatlining, and then in the middle of the second one, he flatlined again. My brother came back twice from that, from being shot 5 times. He's able to walk and stuff like that, but he deals with a lot of pain, a lot of weird pain because he's still got 2 bullets in him. He stayed with a bullet right here lodged next to the aorta valve in the chest. They don't want to touch because it's pretty dangerous. And he's got one like in the lower fourth or fifth, third, maybe fourth vertebrae, I believe. The fourth vertebrae, he's got a bullet lodged in between there. I mean, he's not paralyzed or anything, but he has a ton of back pain, and he just deals with it. And but he's other than that, he's normal, and he tells you that he's blessed. And That's just part one of when my brother was shot 5 times. But there's a lot of stuff that comes with that. There's a lot of stuff that comes with that story. So, if you really want to know the rest of the stuff and you want to know other stuff like this, then let me know. And I'm a little bit chilled out, a little bit somber tonight. Not sad or anything, but you know, I think about that. It puts me into a different energy because I remember how I felt thinking that my brother was gone. And my mom was mad at me when I told that homie that my brother was dead. And she's like, when he left, she's like, "What the fuck did you tell him he's dead for? He's gonna end up dying." Mom, no, listen to me. I have to tell him that he's dead. But why? I said, look, we don't know who and why they shot him. He can't talk. We got all these assumptions. We got this bitch throwing names out there. We don't know to believe her or not to believe her. Nothing makes sense right now. Everybody's a snake in my book, Mom. We don't trust nobody. There was tons of people always coming in and out of my mom's house because my brothers was involved with the gangs. So there was always a lot of people hanging out in my mom's apartment. So he was one of those people that was connected to all the gangs and all the people that knew my brothers and knew our family and knew my mom, knew all of us. And so I knew whatever I told him was going to spread like wildfire because he's going to say, I heard it from Rob D. And my name, I'm not like big bad motherfucker, no, but in my own little world and in my own little position that I play, I'm respected and I respect a lot of folks too. And there's a lot of people that I helped when I was in the street. There was homies that would come to me fresh out of jail and like, hey, bro, like, you know what, my kids need fucking diapers and shit, bro. And I need to get milk and all that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for no money, but hey, bro, can you throw me a zip, you know what I mean, or two or whatever, or throw me a QP or whatever, a quarter pound, and let me get some money? Sure, bro, here you go. I never asked for the money, bro, and not even trip. It wasn't about the money. That's to me, that was hey, that was a plug. Go ahead, bam. I did that a few times, throw a couple ounces or something like that at somebody of trees, you know what I mean, or give them $50 and some bud, whatever, to help them out. And so there's so many things and so many different ways that we helped people out. But I had to play it that way. And that was the best way to play that because once they thought my brother was dead, his actual shooters started to come out and play and be very cocky about what they had did, telling everybody. There was a lot of things that happened while I was at the hospital. People went up in there running, telling me stories, all jacked up. The police show up. I mean, there was so many things. People following me from there, motherfuckers on bikes standing across the street, dude. It was being brought to my attention. I thought the bitch was tweaking. I'm like, what? We'll get into that. Once I started looking though, I saw what the fuck was, and I was like, what the fuck? Plain sight. Being followed from there when I'm leaving the hospital. You know what I'm saying? There was so many things that happened from that. So we're going to end this video there and we'll continue on another one. This was My Brother Was Shot 5 Times, part one, Raw and Uncut. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Appreciate you. And we'll be back at you pretty soon with another one. So until then, hey, peace.